Hey girls, Mrs. Forbes here. Today is Friday, May 1st, and we are going to be working on Module 6, Lesson 6. Now, some of the examples we're going to be doing are right in your problem set. So if you want to pause the video and go grab your packet and make sure you are at Module 6 or Mission 6, Lesson 6. Our ICANN statement. I can use the area model and number line to represent mixed numbers with units of ones, tenths, and hundredths in fraction and decimal forms. A lot of information in there, so let's talk about the different vocabulary. Here's our area models. Here's our number lines, or number line. Here's my mixed number. My mixed number, remember, has a whole. This one has one whole, and it has a part. This one has 15 hundredths. So let's look at our area model first. And we want to be able to shade 1 and 15 hundredths. That being said, I need to remember what one whole means. One whole means one whole diagram. Now I have to shade 15 hundredths, but I have to think about this. My model is broken into tenths. 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, and so on. However, I know that I can also have hundredths. 1/10 is equal to 10 hundredths, 20 hundredths, 30 hundredths, 40 hundredths, 50 hundredths, 60 hundredths, 70 hundredths, 80 hundredths, 90 hundredths, 100 hundredths, which would be the whole thing. I only want 15. So if I shade in one bar, so far, that's 1/10 or 10 hundredths. But I only need an extra 5. So that extra 5 is half of this here. So I have one whole and 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 hundredths. Now let's go to my number line. And the range in my number line is from 0 to 3. Now let's think about 1 and 15 hundredths. It's more than 1, but it's less than 2. And again, just like with my area model, my number line is broken into tenths, but that's okay. I can say this is 1 and 1/10, 1 and 2/10, 1 and 3/10, but I also know those tenths can be decomposed into hundredths, and I can count it 1 and 10 hundredths, 1 and 20 hundredths, 1 and 30 hundredths, and so on. I need 1 and 15 hundredths. Well, here's 10, here's 20, that's too much, so I'm going to need, right in the middle, 15. So there would be my point for 1 and 15 hundredths. So now let's try another example. All right, girls, if you actually flip your paper over and look at number 2, letter A, this example here is right in your problem set, so we can do it right together. So we have 2 and 95 hundredths, and we have to put it on the number line. So again, our number line is not broken into hundredths, but we can easily imagine what it would be. It's broken into tenths, but I know that 1/10 is the same as 10 hundredths. Or remember yesterday I was comparing it to coins. 1 dime is equal to 10 pennies. I need 2 95/100ths. More than 2, but not quite 3. So I'm going to count by tens. 10/100ths, 20/100ths, 30/100ths, 40/100ths, 50/100ths, 60/100ths, 70/100ths, 80/100ths, 90/100ths. So there's 2 90/100ths, but I need 95, which is just a little bit further right in the middle. So I'm going to put my 95/100ths right in the middle. So again, 2 10/100ths, 20/100ths, 2 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 2 95/100ths. Let's look at the next one. This example is not in your problem set, but just another one that we can do together. So this one I have 2 32/100ths. And again, we're estimating because we're not going to break this into hundredths when we know that one of these tenths is the same as having 10/100ths. I want 2 32/100ths. Here's my 2, 10/100ths, 20, 30, and I only need to go a little bit farther for that 32. It's not right in the middle, that would be 35, but it's closer to the 30. So now we're going to do some examples on the board. So girls, now I want you to look at number 3. This is your first example in number 3, and we need to write it as a mixed number and a decimal. So we have 1 and 2/100ths, which is basically 1 and 2/100ths. 1 and 2/100ths. Now I want to write this as a decimal. Now, what we have to remember is that after the decimal place, I have tenths and I have hundredths. When I look at this fraction, 2/100ths, remembering what we did yesterday, I have 0/10ths and 2/100ths. So when I write my decimal, 1 and 2/100ths, it's 1.02. Let's do another one. 3 1s and 17/100ths. 3 and 17/100ths. I have 1/10 and 7/100ths, and that gives me 3 and 17/100ths. Last one, 4 1s and 28/100ths. 4 and 28/100ths. 4 and 2/10ths, 8/100ths, 4.28, or 4 and 28/100ths. So what you're going to do now is finish up that problem set. We have modeled a few examples together today. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday.